How's it going? Welcome back to my channel, Gardening Cold Spring Harbor. For those of you who are new to my channel, I'm in Long Island, New York, Zone 7A. Yet another beautiful, warm summer day here in Long Island, New York. I'm sure all of you, my fellow gardeners, are busy bees, gardening and harvesting your hard-earned, hard-work crops, our veggies, our herbs from our home garden. But guess what, guys? We are already in the middle of summer, and very soon our existing spring crops will start to unfortunately die out. But in today's video, we're going to talk about how all of us can have a continuous crop harvest from the seeds that can and should indeed be planted now in the month of July. So join me today as I will tell you more than 15 vegetables, herbs, and flowers that can and indeed should be planted, should be started from seed now in the month of July. So for those of you who are looking for that online gardening channel that offers tips, tricks, easy yet proven gardening advice to take your home gardens to that next level, don't go anywhere, guys. Stick around. Start with clicking the subscribe button. And if you never want to miss any of my new upcoming gardening videos, click the bell icon as well. YouTube will notify you every time I'll upload a new gardening video. Now let's talk all about those vegetables, herbs, and flowers that should be started now in the month of July so you can harvest your crops all the way through fall and maybe even up to Christmas. So come with me. Growing zone in which you live and gardening will most likely be the most important, the key factor as it determines the climate where we live and our veggies and herbs grow. So in today's video, I'm going to focus on the vegetables, the herbs, and the flowers that can and should be started from seed in the month of July for those of us living in cooler gardening and climate zones. So we're going to focus mainly on zones 5 through zones 7. So as you guys already know, I live in Long Island, New York, and that is gardening zone 7A. So for any of you living in zones 5 through 7, today's video will be very useful and helpful. So the key to planting vegetables and herbs and flowers in the month of July. Yes, guys, some of you might be concerned that it is middle of summer and your crops might not have enough time to germinate, to grow, and to produce the fruits or, the herbs that you're looking to harvest. The key to planting and growing vegetables and herbs and flowers in the month of July is to make sure that the vegetables, the herbs, and the flowers that you are starting from seed in the month of July will be ready to be harvested from anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks after the time you pop that seed into the soil. So 6 to 8 weeks from seed to harvest are the veggies, the flowers, and the herbs that should be planted in the month of July. Again, in today's video, we're not going to be talking about the long-term vegetables, such as our tomatoes, our beautiful peppers, and our eggplants. Those are summer, hot weather loving vegetables that do indeed take way over 85 to 90 days from seed to harvest. So we're going to be focused on short-term growing vegetables and herbs. Starting seeds in July, guys, which is now. We are at the end of July 2023. You could start seeds this late in the summer 2 ways. One is inside, indoors, once again in our seed starting trays or our 1, 3, or in 5-gallon containers. You could do exactly what you did in the early spring and start them inside indoors and then transplant your seedlings to your home gardens. Or another way, since the soil is so warm, guys, it's almost hot now, as again we are in the middle of summer, potentially there's no need to take up your green room space or your kitchen space or your home space. You could start your seeds directly outside in your garden. So for those of you who do not want to waste their precious home space or their green room space, air temperature, the soil temperature is so warm now, guys, now that we are in the middle of summer. You can directly sow your seeds into the soil of your raised garden beds or your home garden. And with the temperatures being so warm, you're bound to see your seeds germinate within a week of popping them directly into your home gardens. So again, guys, depending on which gardening zone or climate zone we live in, for many of us, summer can be a very, very challenging time to grow our vegetable and our herbs. I know, guys, I understand you guys, and I'm there with you guys. The thunderstorms, the gusty winds, in fact, we're having pretty heavy winds here today. The heat, the severe humidity can all take a huge impact on our spring crops. So many of us tend to lose lots of our crops and our harvests in the summer month. So when the fall comes, when the temperatures gradually start to cool off, with the heat starting to disappear, with the humidity starting to calm down, many of our crops will be so happy growing in our home gardens. And in fact, they will thank you and reward you with a huge crop harvest. But again, the key to that huge, large, happy harvest is to start these seeds now. Peak in the middle of summer in the month of July. So now let's get into all the vegetables, the herbs, and even the flowers, guys, that you can and indeed should start this late in the season, but in the month of July, so you can enjoy that gorgeous abundant harvest all fall and maybe beginning of winter as well. And for those of you who do not want to waste energy with those seed starting lights, with those grow lights, the heating mats, for those of you who do not want to take up any more of your green room space, especially now in this warm weather, today's video is for you guys as well. So let's get started. So the first crop, the first vegetable that can and should be started from seed in the month of July are our beans, guys. Yes, I know that many of us start and grow our beans from either seeds or transplants early in the spring. But guess what, guys? As the spring harvest of beans starts to die out, as you could see, I'm ready to harvest my beans, probably just like majority of you as well. This time of the year in July, you can pop in your bean seeds directly into your soil wherever you have any empty spaces, say from the crops that you already harvested. Say you harvested your garlic, you harvested your onions at this point, you harvested your tomatoes. So I'm sure that many of us have plenty of empty space in our home garden. Beans are that easy to grow. 6 weeks from seed to harvest. So pop in those babies right now into the soil of your home garden to enjoy fall bean harvest. Crop number 2, herb number 2 that you can and should start once again from seed now in the month of July is our delicious, fragrant, and gorgeous basil, guys. I know that many of us have started growing basil in the early spring, and I'm sure for many of us this harvest is coming to an end, as our basil will start to bolt and die off soon enough. But guess what, guys? You could start growing basil again. You could start it from seed again now, so you can enjoy delicious aromatic basil in your home cooked meals throughout the entire fall season. And certain basils, such as our purple varieties, there is a basil called dark purple opal variety. It also makes for a beautiful landscape in the fall with its deep purple colored leaves. The next crop that you should be starting from seed now is our cauliflower, guys. Yes, cauliflower is an amazing, a delicious crop that can and should be started now inside, indoors, in our seeding trays in the month of July. It takes 8 to 10 days for the seeds to germinate and roughly 60 to 70 days from seed to harvest. Cauliflower loves cooler weather and cooler temperatures. And in fact, by growing cauliflower in the summer, you might be prone to having it be eaten and attacked by bugs and insects. So by starting it now inside, indoors, in seeding trays, and then transplanting it in the late summer, early fall, you are giving your cauliflower the best chance at growth in your home garden. And another cool fact about cauliflower is that it tastes better and sweeter when it is grown in cool weather temperatures. Another crop or herb that should be sown from seed now in the month of July is our cilantro. I'm sure many of us have started growing cilantro in the spring season. However, by now it has gone to seed, turned into what we like to call coriander, which is another delicious, highly used spice in our home kitchens. However, by now you probably are done with that first harvest of cilantro. So guess what, guys? Right now is the perfect time to directly sow those cilantro seeds anywhere where you find that empty space in your home garden. And if you keep planting those seeds as soon as cilantro will bolt, you will have continuous harvest of cilantro throughout the entire summer, through the entire fall even. So keep sowing those cilantro seeds in your home garden if you want to enjoy continuous cilantro harvest. Another crop or an herb that should be sown from seeds right now in the month of July is our cilantro. Yes, guys, I know that many of us have planted and grown cilantro in the spring, from spring into early summer. But by now, our cilantro has bolted, died out, and turned into coriander seed. Yes, I know that cilantro tends to bolt rather quickly. But by directly sowing those cilantro seeds directly into your home garden, anywhere where you find empty garden space, you will ensure to have continuous cilantro harvest through the entire summer and fall seasons. Crop or vegetable number 5 that can and should be started now in the month of July are our beautiful cucumbers. I know that many of you might be thinking, why should we start cucumbers now again when we're still enjoying harvesting our existing cucumbers that we started in the spring? For those of you who are still enjoying picking and harvesting your spring grown cucumbers, best of luck to you guys. I hope your harvest is abundant. But for those of us who live in hotter, more humid climates or gardening zones, many of us potentially lost our cucumber plants to the heat and the humidity by now. Maybe you had some insects or fungal diseases that attacked your cucumber plants. So don't despair, guys. You could start growing fresh cucumbers, new cucumbers from seed now in the month of July. And because the soil is so warm, guys, you don't need to start your cucumbers in seeding trays inside, indoors. You can pop your seeds directly into the soil of your home garden, and because the soil is still so warm, they will germinate and you will see seedlings in less than a week. Those of you, my fellow gardeners, who might be concerned with how cooler fall weather might impact the pollination of your cucumber plants, there are certain cucumber varieties that don't even need to be pollinated. They will bloom and produce cucumbers for you without needing to be pollinated. That variety is called the Bates Alpha cucumber variety, and you can grow that either outside or even in containers inside your green room. And as we know, We do not have any pollinators inside our green rooms. So that variety will be the perfect variety for you to grow in containers inside your home in your green rooms. Vegetable number 6 that can and should be started from seed, sown directly into our home garden. Now in the month of July are our squash, or in other words, our zucchini. As you could see, there are quite a few varieties of zucchini. Here's an example that are not only container friendly and can be grown in containers as small as 12 inches. They will be ready for harvest in 48 days from the time you sow them into the soil. So imagine, guys, you can be enjoying zucchini harvest all summer long and all fall long in as little as 48 days from seed to harvest. So for those of you who maybe lost your zucchini plants this summer due to the extensive heat, maybe extensive humidity, maybe powdery mildew disease, don't despair, guys. You could start a new batch of crops this late in the season and enjoy fresh, sweet squash in as little as 48 days. The next crop or vegetable that can be sown from seed now in the month of July is our sweet corn. So for those of you who love and enjoy growing, harvesting and consuming corn, right now you still have plenty of time from seed to harvest, to plant and to grow sweet corn. Imagine that delicious, sweet flavor of corn come cool fall nights. You can grill it, you can boil it, you can bake it, you name it. Plant corn seeds now to enjoy that amazing corn all fall long. Next crop is Swiss chard, guys. Swiss chard is one of those crops that will not only tolerate higher, warmer, hotter air temperatures. Guess what, guys? It is such an amazing crop that it will tolerate cooler, colder temperatures as well. So pop in those Swiss chard seeds into your home garden now in the month of July. Next vegetable or crop that can and indeed should be started now from seed are our peppers, guys. I know that some of you might think that I'm absolutely crazy. How and why should you plant or sow peppers now this late in the season, guys? Well, the answer to that is that there are so many pepper varieties now that you could start from seed, that they are indeed pepper varieties that are not only garden friendly, but also container friendly, and that will be ready from seed to harvest in as little as 60 days, guys. As you guys already seen and know, I have quite a few pepper varieties that are already growing, blooming, and producing peppers for me here in my home garden that I started in the spring from seed. They're doing wonderfully, and I'm harvesting peppers from them on daily basis. So now that we are in the middle of summer, I am already thinking about what peppers am I going to grow from seed, that I'm going to start from seed now, that I can continue harvesting my peppers throughout the entire summer, throughout the entire fall, and even through the winter season. That might sound crazy to some of you, but whenever I come to this decision to choose what peppers I'm going to start now from seed, I always look at the seed packets, and the seed packets almost always tell you days to maturity, what location, and they also mention whether these varieties are container friendly varieties. So when I'm starting peppers in the summer, I make sure that the varieties that I choose are indeed container friendly. Again, for those of you, my fellow gardeners who may be looking through their existing seed packets, or maybe you are online trying to order some new varieties of seeds, make sure that the peppers that you're going to start now in the month of July are indeed container friendly. each of the seed packets usually clearly specifies that fact in the back, and it even tells you how many plants you should be potting each of your containers. I personally like to start my pepper seedlings in my 6 cell trays inside indoors until the seeds germinate. However, many of you have multiple options. Right now that the air temperatures are so warm, you could start them in seed starting trays and leave the seed starting trays outside if you do not want to take up your house space or your green room space. But once the seedlings germinate and produce first set of true leaves, I like to transplant my seedlings 1 plant per 1 3-gallon container. Another cool thing about growing your veggies in containers is that once the air temperatures start to cool off in the fall, and you know that your plants are in danger of get hurt by frost, you can take your containers and move them and relocate them inside, indoors, to either your patio or your green room or even your kitchen. And guess what, guys? You will continue to harvest those peppers throughout the entire fall and even the entire winter season that they are growing inside, indoors with warm air temperatures. The next crop that should be started now from seed, in fact directly sown into our home gardens, are our carrots, guys. Carrot loves and thrives growing and maturing in cooler air temperatures. As you could see, this carrot variety, the red core sun.There, takes 70 days from seed to harvest. I know that many of us, like myself here, started growing our carrots this spring, as this year's spring season was much cooler than usual, than the previous years. However, believe it or not, carrots love and do much better planted mid to late summer and harvested mid to late fall. So for those of you who haven't started growing their carrots, or maybe you want to start another batch of carrots, maybe a new variety you're trying to try out, right now is a perfect time to sow those carrot seeds, as there are varieties that will be ready for you to harvest in as little as 70 days. So what is the next crop that should be started now in the month of July so we can enjoy the harvest come this fall season? That crop is our watermelon. Many of you fellow gardeners might think I'm absolutely crazy trying to suggest that you start growing watermelon now from seed in the month of July, as most varieties of watermelon do take quite a long time to mature and be ready to be harvested. However, don't forget that there are so many watermelon varieties now that can be started and grown from seed. There are watermelon varieties such as the sweet sugar baby varieties that do not take such a long time from seed to harvest and can indeed be started from seed in containers. You could start growing watermelon containers now outside while the air temperatures are still warm. And once the air temperatures start to cool off, drop down, just like what I said previously about the peppers, you could take those containers. That's the cool thing about growing crops in containers, and relocate them inside, indoors, where it's much warmer. And then you can enjoy harvesting your sugar baby watermelons come fall season. The next crop to start now inside, indoors in our seed starting trays, and transplant the seedling when the weather starts to cool down in the fall, are another member of our brassicas family, and that is our broccoli, guys. Like I previously mentioned in regards to cauliflower, broccoli seeds take as little as 8 to 10 days to germinate inside, indoors in our seed starting trays. And many broccoli variety only take up to 70 days from seed to harvest. And broccoli, just like cauliflower, just like cabbage, loves growing and thriving in cooler, more milder air temperatures. So for those of you who want to try growing brassicas, or maybe you enjoy growing and harvesting them, right now is the perfect time to pop some broccoli seeds into our seed starting trays inside, indoors, and get them ready to be transplanted come this fall. Those of you fellow viewers, fellow gardeners that still may think that I didn't give you enough crop and herb options that you could start from seed now in the month of July, I have more options to offer you guys. One of them is lettuce. There are quite a few lettuce varieties that are not only container friendly, they will do quite well in warmer air temperatures. And not only that, they are ready from seed to harvest in as little as 50 days. So you can enjoy eating lettuce continuously all the way through fall until cold air temperatures hit. And you can be done harvesting your lettuce right before first anticipated frost date. Another delicious, healthy crop that you can grow now in the month of July is spinach. Many of us fellow gardeners grew spinach early spring. Then our spinach bolted and went to seed once the hot air temperatures hit. Guess what, guys? The great thing about spinach and it's not only an early spring crop, it is also a late summer fall crop. And it's ready to harvest in as little as 25 days after you sow the seed. Spinach is also container friendly, and if you do not want to grow it outside in your home garden, you can also grow it inside, indoors, in your plant containers. For those of you who love and enjoy eating spinach, raw, steamed, boiled, cooked, maybe you prefer to eat it in a nice, sweet, crunchy, refreshing salad, but you no longer have spinach growing in your home garden, guess what, guys? Time to start growing the delicious spinach once again now in the month of July. Those of you, my fellow viewers that stayed with me throughout the entire duration of this video, I have one more surprise to offer you guys. I know that I already mentioned so many vegetables, so many herbs that can and should be started in the month of July. And indeed, I will be starting these crops now in the month of July. So for those of you who stuck around with me throughout this entire video, I also wanted to give you a few flower options that you could sow either directly into your home garden or in a container now in the month of July. One of those options is zinnia. I absolutely love and adore zinnia. I think it's a beautiful, gorgeous, stunning flowers. There are many, many different varieties of zinnias. They don't take long at all from seed to harvest. And if you pop them into your ground, into your soil now, you will enjoy the beautiful pop of color throughout the entire summer as well as fall. And some zinnia varieties come in these beautiful burgundy, orange, yellow, and red colors and will make an excellent fall landscape in your home garden. Another flower that you could start from seed now, you can again sow it either directly into the soil or in a container, is the Bachelor Buttons Blue Boy. This flower is absolutely stunning. It looks like a mixture of a carnation and an aster flower. When it blooms, it's this beautiful blue, purple mix of colors, and it is absolutely stunning, and it blooms all the way through late fall, and it takes less than 50 days, 50, from seed to bloom. I got quite a few comments from you fellow gardeners asking me what crops will I be growing in my home garden come this fall. What crops have I started from seed already, whether in my home garden or inside in my seeding trays. So I decided to make this video for you guys and to offer you all of the crops that can and should be started in the month of July that I know that I will be growing this year come late summer and fall. I offered you guys quite an abundance of vegetables, herbs, and even flowers that you guys could start now in the month of July and enjoy harvesting all the way through late fall. So for those of you who enjoyed watching this video, if you like the content of this video, show me that support by clicking thumbs up below. Leave your comments, guys. Let me know what crops will you be growing late this summer or maybe throughout the entire fall season. Let me know what you have already started, maybe inside, indoors, in seed starting trays. I love reading your comments, and I absolutely adore communicating with each and every one of you. For those of you who haven't yet done so, do so today, guys. Makes me very, very happy. And I truly, truly appreciate seeing that you guys enjoyed watching my videos and that you guys subscribe to my channel. So if you haven't yet done so, click the subscribe button so you never miss any of my new upcoming gardening videos. Stay healthy, happy, be well, and enjoy this beautiful, gorgeous summer weather. Happy gardening, guys, and I'll see you again in my new upcoming gardening videos. Bye, guys.